Hello, everybody. It is Sunday evening. Once again, we are here for another session of our Sunday night live stream, like Clockwork, which is, of course, the companion D&D campaign to Collinsworth's Clockwork Circus, which is the comic book that we are publishing at Realm Alternus and that I am writing. Issue 1 out and going to be available on the interwebs by the 15th of December, I hear. Does that sound right?
That sounds right. That is our tentative launch date, depending on everything going smoothly. So yes, let's hope that.
Yes, and that's not just for the comic, but that's for any Realm Alternus merchandise that we have, right?
Yep.
Okay. And other than that, I wanted to show off this die that I got. I don't know how well you're going to be able to see it. I'm going to try. It's going to like get all unblurry. But inside of this die is a skull with Swarovski crystal eyes. And it's got a lot of stuff going on inside of it. It's a big, beefy fella.
Cool. I thought it was a brain.
Yeah. It's hard to see because, you know, the facets and everything that do a refraction. But when you look at it like from the 20... when the 20 is up, you can see pretty decently. Anyway,
how does it roll? Is all that stuff in there weighted?
It's balanced. No, it's balanced. It's it's balanced. It's I mean, this is not shoddy make. If you're interested in dice like this is a Shade Arts AU.com or something. I'll put that in the chat sometime later. But it's a high-end specialty die that I wanted to get one of the Halloween skull specials before they ran out. So
it's much cooler because when I was in junior high and bowling was going through, it's like a big fad thing. People used to get like fake skulls in their bowling balls. I think that's much cooler than the fake skull in the bowling ball.
That's like Mystery Men. Nobody remembers that.
Yes. No, that was Janine Garofalo, Nate Macy, and Ben Stiller all in this game. Yeah, no. Yeah.
Wow, Janine Garofalo. Wow, I haven't heard that name in...
We haven't heard that name around here in ages.
Right? Like, that's been a minute. Okay, so yeah, besides that, I am, if you're wondering about the duck, tonight I am just kind of in my Dilby Duckworth costume that I do on TikTok. Dilby is a first level artificer who is fairly clueless about everything, but is otherwise happy-go-lucky, and he has a duck. That's why I have a duck on. Anyway, so that's what I've got.
If we were in Goose Goose Duck, that's the game, right? Goose Goose Duck, or is it Duck Duck Goose?
Goose Goose Duck. It's Goose Goose Duck.
Oh yeah. Which,
if you say it fast enough, sounds like couscous duck, which is a delicious Mediterranean dish.
I would enjoy that.
Right? Does that make sense? Anyway, other than that, Halloween has come and gone. It is November. It is no nuance November. It is no shave November, Movember. I don't know, something like that.
NaNoWriMo.
All the things that November is. And Indigenous Peoples Month. So, you know, welcome to November, everybody. Does anyone have any November announcements they'd like to make? We'll start with Roland.
Yes.
No.
Absolutely not.
John.
If you are a member of the Realm Alternus family, you've probably heard about the podcast Brutal Wrestling, which releases on episodes on Friday or something like that. I can't remember when we release episodes. Probably Friday. That sounds correct, but who knows? And we're still going strong. We're actually, I don't know how far past the release date they film, or whatever the film equivalent in podcast is. But that we're doing our last episode next week. So it's bittersweet and wonderful all at the same time. If you're up for chaos, Brutal Wrestling is great because I broke Shay.
You broke Shay.
literally the episode stopped because it was just like there was just silence from Shay. Shay could not believe. So if you enjoy wrestling and the insanity of a version of me that's not Panabon, tune into one of our lovely podcasts, of which we have many. And as John, I am working on a piece for the Fertile Ground Festival in January, so I'm going to be filming that here in November. And November is my how many pumpkin pies can I eat in a month. And I'm only at 2 right now because pumpkin pies are very scarce in Oregon. It's very weird. So I'm hoping to be.
Happen.
I mean that I don't. If people want to see me stuff my face. I mean, if people want to see me stuff my face, I'll make a Patreon exclusive. You can watch me eat pie. I mean, I'm not going to stop you.
But I don't know that we're that kind of company.
Yeah.
pie eating voyeurism. Like I don't know.
Whatever it takes.
The disclaimer is Rem Alternus supports healthy eating habits. We do not recommend eating until comatose. Or
These are professionals. Do not try at home.
There is one more thing about November that's really important to me.
Okay.
It's both bittersweet and kind of important. The Trans Gay Remembrance happens in November, and that's in a couple of weeks. So if you don't know what that is, that might be good to look up because that's a couple weeks from now. The Trans Gay Remembrance is really important in the queer community. And yeah, so if that's something that you feel called to find out about, there's probably something happening in your city it's called TDOR, but it's also Trans Gay Remembrance if you want the much longer name. So
all right.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I mean, I wish we just celebrated everybody every day all the time. We didn't have to have necessarily a day of remembrance, but
well, yeah, I wish we didn't have to have it either, but as a thing that the community does, my community does, it's a really important
Absolutely.
thing. So.
I'm in. All right, well, moving on, Leah, what you got anything special going on this month?
I just wanted to say, I don't know if anybody heard about the Travis Scott concert that happened in Los Angeles, but if anyone does have any friends or family that were there, I just want to say, like, we stand with you and we're so sorry that happened. But it just recently happened in the news, and there's a lot of people here that went to it. So I just wanted to bring that up. Not necessarily what's going on in my life, but just like what's going on the skate.
Right. Yeah. That was a tragedy and a really, really strange sort of thing. When I was first watching it, I was just trying to figure out what happened. What happened? And honestly, nothing happened. It just, the crowd was just pressing forward, and it caused the people in the front to be just pressed by the entirety of the crowd kind of pushing in. And a lot of people were injured, and there were a few deaths. And it's really unfortunate because it's a concert event. It's supposed to be a happy time, and instead it was a tragedy. And my heart goes out to everybody that was involved in that, for sure. Yeah. And then moving on from that, Sarah, do we have any REM stuff?
We always have REM stuff. So we're actually planning for our stuff we're getting done for 2022 and what our goals are for content and growth and stuff like that. So now is a great time to get involved in REM if you've wanted to, if you've wanted to stream, if you wanted to GM, if you wanted to just play games or learn a new game. We're a very inclusive and safe space community. And
let me do it. I still can't believe it. They let me do it. That's kind of, it's wild. I mean,
but we have a lot of cool stuff coming up. And I'm really excited to see what 2022, I almost forgot what year I was in, brings to us.
I gave up.
Yeah, right. We have new podcasts coming with the wrap up of Brutal Crit, including all of the Like Clockwork episodes are dropping on podcast form. So if podcast is your jam more than stream, you'll have an avenue to listen that way too and catch up.
And starting the Thursday after Brutal Crit, Shay and I are going to be involved. We're going to be playing a Vampire the Masquerade TTRPG at our own pace that will eventually be flipped over into podcasts as well. That is going to feature various folks from TikTok that are interested in joining in and playing. So
That's super
I'm
cool.
looking forward to that.
And we this is the best place to promote it. But issue 2 of Coddlesworth's Clockwork Circus will be coming to Kickstarter early in the new year. So we're going to be launching a starting soon or follow us page on Kickstarter. You can join our mailing list if you haven't already, and get notified of when we go live.
Super excited.
All right. Actually, I have a question. Sorry, before we go. Are the Preludes going to be available in podcast? Because I know we're still releasing Preludes, right? Are they
yeah,
in
we kind of,
or?
in all honesty, we paused on Prelude releases. We have the content and we're planning on releasing them, but we were releasing them to Patreon first. And with my move to Canada and life in general, they kind of got pushed aside for a little bit. But yes, I would say that we will get back into the groove of getting those released on Patreon soon. We have, I think, 8 episodes on Patreon/YouTube right now. And then we'll have, I think we usually drop one on Patreon and then a month later release it on YouTube. So Patreon's a great place to see all the stuff we're doing.
I'm just really excited for the Prelude where you light me on fire, which I think everyone should watch because it's amazing.
Yeah, I'll never forget the behind the scenes on that little sneak peek. So join our Patreon so you can see that first. But Danny messaged me behind the scene and was like, "You gotta stop! You're gonna kill him."
Yeah. All right. So, comic coming out, Preludes, our Patreon, etc., so on and so forth. Check it all out. But let's go ahead and get into this game. It's about that time. Welcome back. When we left off last time, our adventurers had just finished rescuing the young girl Yue from what amounts to sea hags and returned back to the oasis of Suslam triumphant. Afterwards, they mostly went to rest, but both Torunya and Aegis were interested in perhaps learning how to fire the rifles they had taken from Uzenda's henchmen. And excitedly, Lox took them up on that. So they went out and were practicing shooting when Rosalia decided to wake Shailung and go and try to just mess with them. A little bit of hijinks ensued, trying to make Lux maybe look like not quite the super astounding marksman that he very much is. And they had a good laugh before all heading back to the inn for the evening, knowing that the next morning the caravan that they're part of was going to be leaving early and heading north to continue their journey. And so we come back to the game. I see what's happening. Noises. We come back to our characters waking up to the smell of breakfast downstairs and the sound of Aegis and Panabon doing their morning calisthenics in their respective rooms.
No sound.
I mean, no sound from Aegis.
No sound.
If Panabon, if people don't know Panabon's doing the calisthenics, is Panabon really doing the calisthenics? How else will Nipue know?
I mean, you know, I think Lox probably hears it just because you're in the same room, but maybe not.
I always cast silence now when I work out in the morning.
Is there a verbal component to that?
Let's see.
That's what we call ironic.
Yeah, I'd say.
The verbal component to silence.
I'm going to be silent now.
Requires you to yell loudly before.
Yes.
No. Oh, no. Yeah, there is a vocal.
Yep.
But that's just to cast. I mean, after that, all the rest of the continuous loud stuff should be muffled.
Right.
And I think that my my vocal cue is just going to be me going shh. That's it.
That was perfect, Roland, because you got the mic didn't like it, so I heard like 0.1 second of shh, and then it just immediately dropped to silence.
Perfect.
All right. So, with that, as I said, the smell of breakfast in the morning, and there's a lot of sound coming from downstairs as all the various members of the caravan are waking up, eating. Certain folks are going out to get the camels, and just getting ready to leave the oasis after being here for roughly five or 6 days. Who's coming down first?
I am. I have a agenda this morning, so I go down. I have my breakfast by myself. I don't even wait for everybody else to wake up. And then I head out the front door, and I wanted to head to the shrine that they've made as a stop before I start loading up my camel and getting my stuff going.
Right. And they said that the shrine had been set up near where the Blue Joke Lodge had formerly stood before it was burned down. And when you get there, you do notice that there are a few people kind of tending it, for lack of a better word, just trying to improve upon what they've got, which for now is a few large stones. It looks like stones pulled from the oasis, perhaps. There are some of the burnt timbers from the lodge and some burnt canvas that they're using to kind of to have constructed sort of a cover that goes over, which just seems like just a set of stones. And as you approach, one of the people looks over and notices you moving towards them and taps another person excitedly. And they both stand, and the 4 or 5 people around, they all get up, and one of them's actually an orc. And as you approach, they all just kind of stand quietly and watch to see perhaps what you're going to do.
I walk up only close enough to kind of hear what everybody is doing, and when I realize that what they're doing is turning and looking at me, I'm like, Taido, everyone.
Taido, how are you today?
I am good. What is this?
We we wanted to thank the goddess Nipoi for saving our friends, and so we have built here a shrine to give our thanks to her. I hope it's okay. We never did shrines to a god before, so
I confess I don't know how it works either.
oh,
I kind of like look around, like I'm looking to her. I think this is what is done to pay homage to a deity. At least I have read that. Here. And I swing my shield off my back and I put it in front of me. This is her symbol.
it's it looks like a bird of some sort.
Swan.
A swan. I've never heard of such a bird, but
Improv. It is native to Denong. They are large. They are majestic birds. Sometimes they are used as a symbol of royalty.
Well, one of them has already pulled out a parchment and looks like they're sketching the design from off the shield, just the abstract vision of the swan. And after a moment, turns it around, and it's a pretty good depiction.
That's very good. You are very talented.
Yes. So, and he takes the parchment and kind of puts it in amongst the timbers and the canvas so that it's basically sets up a backdrop to the stones that are set up. Should we pray? Is there a time when we should pray?
I find that the most constructive parts of my day is when I am alone. Early in the wee hours of the morning, always wake up first thing in the morning. And after you have made yourself well, and after you have perhaps exercised a bit, and your mind is clear, first thing in the morning, that may be the best time to show your praise, I suppose, to her.
Okay. Yeah, we're up early anyway, to get out on the water. So thank you again.
Always remember to feed yourselves and keep yourselves healthy. And always remember to practice good hygiene.
One of them looks down at his hands and then just kind of puts them in his pockets.
And then as I'm rattling off my own personal tips for a better life, suddenly I feel myself inspired.
Mm-hmm.
I say to them, I kind of I go from my self-important kind of puffed up chest, giving them my own personal philosophies, and I just kind of my gaze just kind of meets the ground, and I say, always remember, care for the sick. And with thaumaturgy, a breeze passes through all of them. I say, remember, protect the weak. And then suddenly the ground starts to tremble a little bit. My voice kind of echoes, and I say, And always remember to stand against tyranny. And then I kind of like come back to focus again. These are her words.
We will. Thank you. Taido.
Taido means hello. In Dewal, Bitaru is thank you.
Bitaru. Thank you.
Everybody be well. Have a good life.
And they all, as you turn, they watch you walk before all kind of turning inward and buzzing somewhat excitedly amongst themselves as you walk away from what may be the first church to Nipoe in millennia. Meanwhile, back at the inn, the others, I imagine, are up and downstairs by now, or no, not sure.
How am I feeling, first of all, after my poisoning and then my late night with shenanigans with Rosalia?
Well, you still got to bed at a decent hour, so you did get a long rest. So the poison has run its course, and you are no longer poisoned. So you wake up feeling, but not sick, you know.
So as I kind of lay in bed and wake up and look at the ceiling, I think about like everything that's happened at the Oasis, and it's been a really emotional time and a lot of learning, and for better or worse. And a lot of things where I didn't like my own responses, and so how do I do better, be better? And so I go back to what my roots are, and that's routine. Like I'm my best self when I have my routine. So I stay for a while up in the room. I'm going to do my ritual to resummon Minya. I'm going to, all the treasure that we brought back with us, I'm going to identify and cast the ritual for that. And I'm also going to make it a habit, first thing, to also run a locate planar anomaly, so that like if we happen to, like, maybe we can anticipate the trouble before it starts. So I'm going to start making that a routine to cast that or do that ritual in the morning.
Okay. That makes sense. So yeah, you do all of those things. After about 10 minutes, you feel almost like a slight breeze kind of behind you, and you turn your head one way, and then as you turn it the other way, you see Minya kind of hop from the dresser and just glide out and then land on your arm and then kind of climb up into your hair. The next thing that you do is go into the various items, and I know that they're not all in your inventory, but I think that you probably just have them all right now because everyone was expecting you to take a look at them. So I will go ahead and go through and...
I'm getting the others into a routine as well.
You're getting the others into a routine as well.
Be careful what you wish for.
Let's see. What does Panabon have?
Too much.
Panabon didn't take any of that gold.
I don't think Panabon took anything.
We were arguing about the I couldn't figure out how to take anything. That was part of it. I couldn't figure out how to take anything out of the party sheet, so that's part of it.
Not for lack of wasn't going to take anything, but
yeah,
just
it was
just
more,
did not.
I couldn't figure out how. Apparently, I have to carry the statue that I stabbed just in case, which I think is silly because if statues are going to start coming to life, I mean, we should just start stabbing them, just like preemptively.
All right. So when you look at the items, the the various goods are not magic. The bracelets, the mirror, etc. But the potions, you take a look at those, and you find that one of them, the potion that has the sort of separated parts, will enable you to hold tight to a vertical surface, like almost preternaturally. So not so much that you would like be able to climb it freely, but it would improve your ability to climb upon it. And the other ones, they're all potions that will heal you. So there's 3 potions of healing, and then there is a potion of greater healing, which is the one that has like the brighter sparkles in it. And those are the magical items that the magic that was in those items.
I make a note to talk to Aegis about, like, when I think about magic and I think about tinkering and I think about the components that go into a potion, like what really, it's still all science. So maybe I can talk with Aegis about like how to deconstruct these and be able to figure out how to produce more. I feel proud that I get this little like prideful moment. Like I bet he's proud of me right now. But I go ahead and pocket those, and then I also make a note that I am going to ask Aegis if I can carry the scary glove, because part of my reflections is that in certain situations, things aren't always as black and white as I have made them out to be in the past, and there may be a need at some point that I should be prepared to have it in case, like, if using it would save someone's life, I will do it. So it's best that I carry it. So I'll talk to him about that.
Drain their essence for good.
Maybe I can reverse engineer it. Maybe like if someone was dying, I don't know. Maybe I could get them to take some of my life force. Don't tell Randy; he won't like that.
All right. Both Perunia and Lox are just down in the main room eating. They're sitting with Zivit. And what about Hannibon?
Hannibon has decided, and this is not because they died of fright. That did not happen. The fainting was definitely part of the plan, and there was no death at all. So Hannibon has decided to embrace the things that make them special and great, because they have not done that enough. And Panabon appears behind Zivid's shoulder, both as Panabon and as their shade. They use they use to split the veil, and they appear at breakfast on either side of Zivid as Panabon and go, "Good morning," in stereo, just to see what the reaction will be.
What's going on?
Breakfast. What do you mean, what's going on?
Why is there 2 Panabon?
There's always been 2 of me. What are you talking about? We are Panabon. Join us.
He just screws his eyes shut.
And then there's only one Panabon, so that when his eyes open up, there's only one Panabon again.
Was there two of you just now?
No. Are you feeling okay?
I'm fine. I'm fine.
Brunia didn't try to poison you with whatever that was again, right?
No. I haven't smoked anything else since then. I got it. And with that, he stuffs something into his mouth, and just as he's chewing, he's like, "I gotta get to the The camels, because I guess I'm in charge of all of the camels that I'll see you later. And he just kind of dashes off awkwardly.
He's very nervous, isn't he? And Panabon is also going to take this opportunity at breakfast to experiment with whether or not Panabon can eat as their shade. So it's going to be kind of this weird back and forth that only Lox and Perunia are going to get to see. And then when anyone else comes to join, Panabon is just going to be one person again. And any questions, Panabon will not answer. Just like, this is just how it's always been. There's nothing different and nothing going on at all.
All right. What about Rosalia? What does her morning look like?
Rosalia is generally kind of caught in a state of lucid dreaming, so she's like in her world, in this world, but when she's by herself, she's kind of just sitting in the middle of the two of them. So she's awake, she's coming out of her trance, she's thinking about the colors of her world and how bright and vivid they are, and then they're kind of fading slowly into what's around her. And she's hearing like people's feet, like she heard Shay's feet pitter-patter down the stairs. And she's thinking, damn it, I have to get up. So she's slowly getting up to join them.
Okay. And not really caring to dine or eat the food that is the normal fare that everyone else eats. Rosalia doesn't need to spend the time at breakfast per se, and by the time she heads down, most of the caravan are out near the front gate. The camel train is preparing to leave, and the rest of the group is just about to head out the door. Aegis having kind of come back from checking out the shrine and eating a little bit later than normally, but still eating as everyone is preparing to leave.
Wait, Aegis, where'd you go this morning? Do we have to start walking now? Is that Nipa Way thing along with the exercises?
Panabon, the exercises in the morning are not a form of worship for Nipa. Those are my own. Those are my own exercises.
I've been exercising for nothing?
I assume that's just the Panabon things.
Oh, no, I wouldn't. I thought it was a Nipa Way thing. Like, it's not
You should have
Nipa Way
probably
thing?
have asked.
Well, I mean, I don't know. We don't have a gnome god. How was I supposed to know? Milfroon doesn't ask anyone to exercise. There's no soul cycle for Milfroon.
I don't know what to tell you, my friend.
I guess as long as Nipa Way doesn't make me give up cards, that's probably okay.
As
Maybe
far
I'll
as I
still
can
do
tell,
that.
she has no opinion towards street performance or swindling with card games.
Well, I mean, it's not. Swindling is such a negative word, with so many negative connotations. It's not like swindling so much as it's being victorious with your intelligence and wit.
Manipulation.
Swindling.
The
No, with your not. I would never. There are just people that are better at cards and people that are worse at cards, and I'm one of those people that's not worse at cards. That are better
Whatever the
at
case,
cards. Sometimes that involves my deck.
cards.
I'm one of those people that's
At
not
this
worse
point,
at cards.
it should be clear that I accept you for whatever it is you do on your personal time. So.
Okay, but Nipa Way doesn't hate that I do the morning calisthenics, right? Like, Nipa Way is like jazzed about it, or is Nipa Way like...
I kind of hike up my pack as if I'm getting ready to walk outside. I turn my back and I go, I suppose we will see. Time will tell.
Time will tell.
Make my way to the door.
Those are such a demanding thing.
And with that, barring anything from anybody, everybody heads towards the caravan to prepare their own camels for travel.
I greet Lampira. Hi, Lampira! Because our camel's name is Lampira. Assuming we get the same camel. I don't actually know how that works.
The camel looks at you and just what? And spits. Luckily,
You split the veil.
You split the veil, and one of you goes either direction, and the camel's eyes are on the side, kind of the side of his head, and so you feel almost like they both follow you, and then the camel just kind of wobbles a little bit and snorts, and
I get that a lot.
Turns.
You'll get used to it, Lampira. You'll get used to it. I get that a lot.
Ogelia nods as Aegis approaches. Well, you seem to have left an impression on the townsfolk here.
Apparently, I don't even know what to say about it. It's strange.
Well, your magic is interesting. It's not like the scholar's magic. That's for certain. I've never seen a scholar heal a person before.
Yeah, generally scholars just sit and discuss things for hours on end, and other long-winded activities.
Oh, I mean the scholars of Aishan, the wizards, like Chetra and others. But in any case, I suppose that is why you felt confident enough to set your wages as you did with
It was a gamble, in all honesty.
I'm certain it's going to pay off, but for now we will be riding through the oasis rather than around. The Rotorohia has given us leave to pass through quickly, given your achievements, and that will probably save us a good 3 hours of travel, actually. And then we'll be on our way to Giululadi. Perhaps 2-3 weeks travel.
We will continue to lend our skills to protect the caravan as best as we can.
Yeah, yes, indeed. And with that, the caravan gathers all together. Norsum, the caravan leader, gets the lead camel going, and everybody starts following suit. And you head through the oasis and then out into the desert. It's about midday before the oasis is pretty much completely out of sight. And the area around you starts to become sand dunes again. Travel is fairly easy. Ogelia seems a lot more at ease after the oasis than she was on the journey between Merkodashta and Suslam. You get a sense that it's because this side, for the first part of this leg, it's very rare for there to be any other life in the dunes at all, other than maybe a caravan that might be tracking a different direction. The first sort of incident that you notice is probably about a week into travel, and it's not anything on the ground. You just notice high in the skies above you. It's Zivid that points it out, actually. You see that there is what appears to be an airship. And Zivid just looks up at it, and well, I've never seen one like that before. It's It must be a new model.
Have I?
No. Well, I mean, make a history check.
Sure. I figure since Denong is a technological...
Can I make
It
a
is.
history check as well? Just because.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Eineland is pretty
Yes.
advanced.
Everybody has seen airships except for, well, and even Rosalie has seen airships. I mean, she just wouldn't necessarily know them. Yeah, no, so I'm going to take the middle of that. You shouldn't have disadvantage anymore. I just hadn't taken the poison off of you, so I'm going to do that now. But we're going to call that like the drop 17, 24. So we'll call that a 18, 19, halfway there. So for Aegis and Panabon, you're more used to these sorts of airships that are almost two parts, right? There's the balloon, and then there's the body of the ship, usually suspended beneath. Shaylun in Eineland, especially in the more industrial cities, you do know that there are some newer airships that are a single piece design, where there's actually like a metal frame that the balloons are in, and then the body of the airship is tucked into that. And so this looks like maybe it's one of the newer ones.
I think it's interesting. I'm thinking to myself, I think it's interesting because if that's one of the newer models just floating over the desert in the middle of nowhere, it must be someone very rich to be able to afford a newer model and then bring it all the way here.
Ooh, rich people.
It is quite impressive. Majestic, even.
It is traveling from the southeast and heading northwest, almost in the same direction that you're heading, actually. So,
do these airships, like, if someone owned it, would they potentially have like their name scrawled across the side of it or something like that? Is there any identifying language?
That's definitely possible. However, it's high enough up that you're seeing the bottom of it. And the bottom of this particular airship is flat. And you kind of see there might be some like rings out to the side. So two pairs of rings out to the side. Hard to kind of make out what that is or what those are for.
Danny, please describe the steampunk fantasy airship vanity plates.
Yes. It says floatin' and boatin'.
Panabon thinks to himself, and anyone in Panabon's vicinity can audibly like hear this thought, like not like psychically, but just like the expression on Panabon's face. I could summon an air demon to throw me up onto that dirigible.
And just in case anyone thinks that like that's not actually vanity plates, it's FLTN BTN, and that's 7 letters, and that'll fit. So, just
in this world, you're still stuck to a 7-letter system.
And no swears, and you can't swear.
All right. Yeah. So it passes over, and that's really the only kind of incident that happens in that first week. And that night, as you're setting camp, the mood is fairly festive in the caravan. It's been an easy travel so far. It hasn't been brutally hot in the daytime, and everyone's fairly happy. You're plussed up with stocks from the Oasis. Several of the folks that are on the caravan with you picked up a lot of goods at the Oasis, and that was their plan to then take those up to Jibulati. Yes.
Can I, without role playing, can I just give some money and say that I refilled all my healing kits?
I'll say that was part of what you picked up from Auntie.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Sweet.
So that night, as camp is set, you split the watch, and Lox and Perunia are taking a watch. Aegis and Shailene will be taking a watch, and Panabon and Rosalia will be taking a watch. And so the first watch being Perunia and Lox, whatever they talk about, who knows? I don't know.
All right, let's
Nobody
do it.
knows.
So,
No.
who wants to be Perunia?
They can do that later if they want. But they do wake you up, and for second watch, we've got Aegis and Shailene. You are woken up for watch, and it's a quiet night. Sky is clear. You can see the stars, which is something that in Ireland, especially in the city, especially deep into Sarin, you do not see stars. Sometimes the pollution is bad enough you don't see the moon. And to have a sky as clear as this and to be able to see the stars like that is very rare.
It's really pretty. There's a lot of light pollution back in Ireland. So, did I ever say I was from Ireland?
No, you never mentioned it before.
I guess means I trust you more.
I'm getting used to that.
Oh, also, I had some thoughts since we are keeping watch and everything. Firstly, here, and I give him one of the potions of healing. We should spread these out so whoever's close can help each other or themselves.
What is this?
Oh, this will. It's a concoction that will heal you during battle. If you are close to. Well, you know.
How do you mean, like a salve of a sort, or some sort of a tonic?
It's a tonic. From what I understand, you drink it, and there's some magical property to it that knits together your wounds and heals your bruises faster, and you get to. I mean, you just it heals you.
Like a magic medication of sorts? And I uncork it and I start smelling it.
Actually, you're onto something with that. What I wanted to talk to you about was maybe if there's a way, maybe we could deconstruct it and figure out what the ingredients are. We could make it ourselves, and then it's a profitable thing, I guess, but it's also helpful for us in our travels and we tend to get hurt a lot.
This is amazing. This is an amazing find, Miss Shailene. And I pick you up off of your feet. Pardon me. Sorry. I apologize for my excitement.
Smells like Fireball.
Oh, not a great smell.
Well,
it smells like some would like it, but personally, it's not my scent of choice.
Smell this one. This one, from my understanding, I did my secret reveal ritual and found that it allows you to more easily ascend vertical surfaces without climbing, and so someone like me that's not particularly athletic could scale a wall, for instance. Here, smell this one.
It looks. Is this the separated one?
Yes.
The appearance of it is impressive. I've never seen such a concoction before. Smell?
So maybe we don't use it, but we again, I've seen you kind of approach things like when someone was poisoned, you evaluated it and you were able to understand more about it. Maybe we can do some experiments on it and try to understand and again replicate it so we can use it more.
Yes, this is a good idea. This is what I would love to do, such a thing. If it is a healing tonic of sorts, I would love to make many copies. This could change everything for the medical field in general. This is amazing.
Well, when we get to a big city, perhaps we can also do some investigation because someone created this. There might also already be some research on it that helps us do better, stronger, faster.
This is very good. Very good.
Well, maybe we can take some watches together and experiment on our travels. I mean, there's nothing else to do in the desert.
Yes. Even if it gets everyone killed because we're busy experimenting on potions instead of watching.
Well, no, we can take turns. A lot of it's going to be just sitting there and boiling or whatever. So.
No, yes, I agree. This is a great idea.
One more thing I was going to ask you if just in case it's needed, may I carry the glove?
Oh.
We found out what it did, and I don't like the risks associated, so I only if necessary, but if it comes to saving someone's life by using it, then of course I will.
Yeah, certainly I don't. I suppose I don't see it as threatening as everyone else does. I'm very indifferent towards this glove. You can hold it. And I start rifling through my pack and pull out the sharp-fingered leather glove of life siphoning.
By the way, I always imagine the Buffy episode with Glove of Minagog that actually has hooks that punch into your arm and hold on forever. So I'm super scared of it.
As you pull the glove out and pass it over to Shaylun, and she takes it, could be coincidence, but there is suddenly just this brisk breeze pushes across the dunes and down through, and you can see the sand running across the dunes at the top as the wind blows it, and it brings a slight chill with it, just enough to kind of send, that little shiver up your spine. And then after a moment, the gust sort of passes.
Yeah, that's not...
They're common enough in the desert, but the timing on this.
I shiver and look at the glove before cramming it rushedly into my satchel is, that's not a good omen.
What was?
The cold wind when we're passing creepy objects.
Oh, I never. That's clever. I never thought to put the two together. Never mind. Here you go.
Well, perhaps too. I don't love the idea of siphoning life energy from another individual, but again, maybe we could experiment. I think it's more dangerous on an object such as this, but when we get our routine down, perhaps we can try to alter or reverse the effect, and maybe it's something like, as a doctor, some of your or mine or whoever's life energy can be put into someone who's dying and save their lives.
It would be safe to do these experiments with me. At least I can bring, if we must maybe experiment on ourselves, I can at least bring us back to health.
All right. I did think it was neat how you can, when someone's really unstable, you can make them not die, and I think that's Neepo. Maybe you could teach me a little more of how you do that and what your relationship is with Neepo, and I could try it, and I could show you some of the things I can do, and see if we can learn from each other.
Yeah, we could do that, certainly.
All right.
As the conversation winds down, the two of you find yourselves going back to your section of the camp, and Perunia mildly snoring, Lox also mildly snoring. Rosalia is already up and eyes open. She only needs 4 hours and spends that in a meditative trance anyway. And so as you arrive, she notices you come in and you wake Panabon, and then the two of you go back to your own bedrooms for the evening as Panabon gets ready for a watch shift with Rosalia.
Be good. Be good.
Oh, well, how do you know I'm going to do something bad?
I just.
And from far away, I go, "Be good."
I mean, fine, I guess.
I like how John got like started on a sentence. He was like, "How did you know?"
Hey, Rosalia, I have a favor to ask while we're on watch.
That's the way.
So, I'm going to do a thing where there are two of me, and I want you to take this dagger, and I want you to stand back a little bit, and I want you to throw it at me.
I don't think I want to do that.
No, because one of me is both me and is not me. So, like, you might hit me, but you might not hit me at all. It's good. It's really cool.
And what if I hit you?
You're not. It's fine. It's a dagger. It's, you know how many times you get hit with a dagger in like thieving school? I mean, I don't know because I never went. But like, you know, I assume it's a lot. So it's just a dagger. It's fine. It comes out. It's great. Come on.
I know that my dagger throwing skills are as evolved as my magic wand throwing skills.
I know, but like, there'll be two of me, so there's a good chance you won't hit me.
Just let him.
All right. Are you going to take the dagger and throw it?
No.
No one's fun anymore. Where's all the fun? It's because I summon water demons, isn't it? That's
No, I think this trip will just be a lot less interesting with -1 gnome.
I mean, you're not. It's a dagger. You're not going to kill me. I mean, I didn't die from the sea hag, so you're not going to kill me. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's great. Everything's wonderful. I could also teach you how to play cards. You'd be really good at cards, because like nobody would know if you're bluffing. Do you want to learn how to? Do you want to learn how to play cards?
You know what my favorite game is?
The quiet game?
BS. BS.
BS.
Mhm.
What is BS?
You have to tell if somebody's telling a lie and they just look at their face, and if they're lying, then you call BS.
And then you stab them?
Well, that too.
Ooh. Sounds like fun. You must teach me this BS, and then I will teach many others.
We should find some people that want to play with us.
Yeah, I think so. I bet the kids would like to learn BS.
Not with a dagger, I don't think.
Well, no, not with the dagger. Like, I mean, you could have like the adult version with the dagger, and then you could have like the kid version, and like they throw rocks at each other. I don't know. What do kids do? Do they throw rocks? I assume
do.
they throw rocks. Okay.
They throw rocks at each other and they call each other names.
Or you play it near a camel, and then if you're wrong, the camel spits on you because they like spitting, like on command. They tried spitting on me earlier, like they followed me when I was two people. It was wild.
Yeah, I think they were calling BS.
It happens a lot with me, actually.
I realize now that I have to make up a version of BS that elves in the Shadowfade play. Thank you, Leah.
It's incredible. I guess on a serious note, I should ask, because this is a good idea to ask, because I haven't been in all the travels that I've done with Sheilun. Have you ever been to Giolati before? Have you ever stopped in Giolati?
No. This is my first time going in that direction.
Okay. I wonder how big the city is.
Is it a desert city?
I assume so. I don't know how big the desert is, but I think we'll still be at. I hope so. I've made like 3 desert masks, so if I can't use my desert masks to make coin, I'm going to be very annoyed. Did a really good job on it.
What do you mean, like desert masks, like to blend in with the desert?
Yeah, but also it's a really fun way to like make some coin on the street. Like you pretend you're the desert, and then you like dance, and you like the desert dance. People get really hyped on that kind of thing. Like they love the scenery of the world. Um, yes, like that, but in desert colors. So it's more of a red and it's like a red and a cranberry and a cran apple and an orange and dusky yellow and like a medium yellow and a mustard yellow, which is really hard to find. If we ever get into like a wooded area and I can find like mustard flowers so I can restock my ochre, that would be super great.
So, what's the worst prank you've ever played on someone?
Well, technically, the worst prank that's ever been played was the time that Shaylun lit me on fire. That really wasn't a prank. That was more like self-preservation. Like, I don't blame her for that at all.
So, what happened? Because I'd never heard of this.
Oh, okay. Well, I kind of. It wasn't exactly my fault. I mean, Shaylun was the one that screamed. But like there was like some stabbing that happened, and then Shaylun thought I was going to stab her, which was silly because I was not going to. But then like there was the jail, and then I was like, I felt bad, so I was going to break her out of the jail. And then she saw me and was like, "You're a bad person," and I'm like, "I'm not a bad person. I'm trying to save you." And then she lit me on fire, and it's a whole thing.
Wow, so you guys really are friends.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. That's true. Do you light each other on fire in the Shadow Fae a lot?
Yeah, and then we dance around in fire and sing songs. It's elf bonding.
Oh, and then do you like walk across hot coals and things like that? Because I know like there are some people that do that.
Oh, we float.
Oh,
It's fun. It's easier that way. Get to practice your magic.
yeah. Dwarves walk across hot coals a lot. It's really weird. I don't see the point to it, but I mean they've got the feet for it, so good for them.
Gnomes get along with dwarves. Dwarves.
Anything that Panabon says about dwarves, they are making up.
It's true. I do that a lot. I mean, so in Palacoon, like in the lower lands, there were like mines. So like I didn't know a lot of dwarves, or maybe I did. Who knows? Like a dwarf could just like you could just see a dwarf on the street, and you don't know, you know.
Yes.
That's usually a fair bet with me. I do a lot of BS.
So the game's easy.
It's easy.
The game is easy with me, I would think. But what if I'm telling the truth? Wouldn't that be awesome? Me telling the truth. Ooh. Life is more interesting when you lie.
I agree. It's kind of boring telling the truth all the time.
You would make a really good thief.
Well, the thing is, I can't really thieve around here because I have funny looking ears. So everybody, if something goes wrong, everyone would be like, "It's the elf."
And there's nothing to steal either. You know, I was going to steal from the weird magician guy back at the Oasis, and then we ran out of time. But they didn't have anything good to steal. That's what I'm hoping
camels.
for. We have camels all around. You know, it's impractical. What are you going to do when you steal the camel? Like break parts of it off or something like that? I mean,
oh no,
you can carry a camel leg with you? I don't know.
You could just let one go each day of the caravan and then see if people notice.
Ooh, like if people annoy me, they just untie their camel.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Just ideas.
But I was told, I was kind of told I had to be good so that nobody died. This Aegis was like, something about all of our cash is involved. And I don't know, apparently no one can die, which is super inconvenient because like, sometimes people just need to get stabbed. And I'm really sad I just kind of can't stab people sometimes. Love to stab people.
It is definitely on a scale. So you're good and my good and everyone else is good. It's just it's a different It's on a different place on the scale. Nothing wrong with that.
It's true. It's just, at least I can stab stone now. It's really nice that I can stab stones. Like, if we have a stone thing come to life again, I know I can stab them. And that's good. That's a good step in the right direction. You are muted, Danny, so if you are saying something, we can't hear you.
I was saying something. As this conversation carries on, the sun does slowly start to rise for you two, and other members of the caravan are slowly waking. And as we move from there, we are going to take a quick 10-minute break. I guess it'll be a long 10-minute break as well. 10-minute break, and we will see everybody on the other side of that. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome back. When we left off, the sun was starting to rise, but what we're going to do here is we're going to pick up kind of prior to that, as Panabon and Rosalia are making their rounds and discussing the various truths of the Shadow Fae or dwarves or what have you. The wind does pick up, and perhaps unnoticed by the two, shadows sort of spiral around and kind of focus around the area of the camp where the rest of the party is sleeping, focused specifically on a small gnome quietly sleeping, not yet dreaming. And Shaylun, you suddenly find yourself on a bridge. This bridge, behind you, you know, is the temple of Izamok, the deity that you venerate. And something has happened. You're uncertain what that thing is, but you have felt the change. You have felt your own magical powers. You're not paltry magical powers have dwindled down to dregs. You are barely able to call forth magic that an acolyte usually can bring with ease. And you are concerned. Standing next to you is one of the priests of Izamok, who stands grim-faced, looking across the bridge as well. And you can feel this portent of something approaching. Something is coming. And you feel that this thing that approaches is going to be the end of everything. And you steel yourself for that. As you turn and you realize that the priest beside you is Aegis. And to either side of the two of you are your companions, Rosalia, Panabon, Lachlan, and Perunia, ready to face whatever it is that's coming to the temple that you have all sworn to protect. Something about this makes you uncomfortable, but you can't put a finger on it. Meanwhile, in the camp, Shaylun tosses, rolls, grimaces, and another shadowy form crosses the desert. And this time it finds a place over Aegis. And Aegis also dreams. And in your dream, Aegis, you are standing outside of the Temple of Nipoe, there's a koi pond with stepping stones that extend to the far end of the pond, and beautiful manicured gardens and trees that extend out to either side. And you too have felt this change, this receding of magical energies. And as Nipoe's high priest, this leaves you baffled and very concerned. The power that normally comes easily to your hand, that represents your connection to the goddess, is barely a trickle at this point. You have the temple's resident wizard at your side who has verified what you fear, that something is pulling magic, weakening your hold to it, and something is coming, and you know that it's coming for Nipoe. And you know that you have to stop it. You and your wizard, who, as you look, is Shaylun, but dressed in the fineries of Nipoe's temple garbs, along with your companions, again, Hannibon, Rosalia, and Brunia Locks. And these two dreams, as similar as they are, merge into a single dream as we bring up a map. And in this map, we do have Aegis and Shaylun. Brunia.
And this map I cannot yet see.
In this map that you cannot yet see.
This map is very dark. There is no light here.
Here you go. Now you can see.
Ooh.
There he is. And so in Shaylun's mind, this is a desert temple. There's a bridge that extends forward. In Aegis's dream, this is the temple to Nipoe, and there are stepping stones across the koi pond.
I thank you all for being here with me. Whatever this threat is, today is the day that we make it go away. I know not all of us may survive this day, but you are all my trusted companions, and I appreciate you being here.
Of course, I just will stand by you. I'm still like struggling with like why this god, why this temple, where, like, why here? But like I feel like I should know these answers. So.
And in your dream state, they do make sense, you know, the way dreams do. And as you stand on the stones before in front of this bridge that extends before you, the temple to Izomok behind, and many of the other servitors and the various keepers of the temple are busily rushing into the temple to secure the lowest chambers where the deity, the living deity, the god on earth, if you will, the god on the planet that resides in the temple itself, is waiting. You're not certain why Izumuk would not himself come and stand before whatever threat, for certainly nothing could defeat this god that you have seen decimate armies with the wave of his hand, that has stolen the life force of the mountain elves, that has ruled for as long as you've been alive, for thousands of years.
Are we level
whatever.
20 in this dream?
No.
So
You might have been, but like I said, something has drained your power down, and so you are it's hard for you to call forth the powers that you are used to calling forth. And for Aegis, it's similar. Nipue has been struck with some illness, some calamity that has brought her low, and she lies in repose, attended by various members of the temple, while you stand ready to face whatever it is that is approaching.
is there a gnome god, or am I?
You are so Panabon and Rosalia and Perunia and Lox these are not your dreams, and so you are there, kind of operating in a sense the way Shaylun or Aegis would imagine you to in the moment.
But I still get to stab something in this dream.
You have control of your character, yes.
Yay, stabbing! Okay, I'm good. Good times.
And this is all expected in the dream. Like, this is exactly how it does play out.
This is, yes, however it plays out in this dream is how it plays out in this dream. So, one moment.
So
yes, go ahead.
As would be routine, I put my holy symbol up and I cast bless on everybody. Obviously, it doesn't work because our powers are drained, but I'm still doing what we would be doing at this point. Imagine this dream world, the thousands of times we've been together. We're probably older warriors at this point. And
if Bane bless actually does work for you. I mean, it is an accessible ability. There are just far greater abilities that you're used to having that you don't.
I see.
So you do have access to these.
Oh, okay. Then I will bless.
And the familiarity of Aegis's bless kind of like sparks me into action too, and I kind of turn and start like, all right, so we know how this works. We've done this a million times before. So Aegis, thank you. I feel better already. We're about to go in, and everyone is going to remember their role and how to support each other. And I kind of go on, and basically I'm doing my leadership quality thing to give everyone the bonus to their temporary hit points.
Okay.
So I'll give it to everybody since I'm at that level.
All right.
Except for myself. 1, 2, 3. 1 extra. Level 2 bless. Ooh, here's a question. How do on Fantasy Grounds, how do you do a higher level spell?
So you either will just, if it's like an effect that doesn't have bonuses to worry about, you can just do it twice. Or if it's got a higher, let's say you did bless and it gave you a better bonus or like a different die, then you would have a second casting method on it. That's how that would.
This is just
would work.
Adding a person anyway, so.
Right. Yeah. So for that, it would just be kind of adding a person.
2, 3, 4. That's perfect.
All right. This is what I'm looking for.
So are these black spaces here, are they columns? Are they shadows?
So for all intents and purposes, you can kind of there you can't see beyond. There's something there that's blocking your vision.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone gets 7 temporary hit points.
Okay. 7, 7, 7, 7, 7, and 7. Actually, let me do this real quick. Now 7. All right, everyone go ahead and roll initiative as the first of whatever it is that is approaching appears at the end of the bridge.
Ooh, I have an inspiration. I'm going to re-roll my initiative.
Ooh, nat 20.
Ooh, look at that.
I'm on it now. I inspired myself.
Yay, that's better.
I find you very inspiring, Shaylin.
Thank you.
Okie doke. Where did my thing go? I just had it up. So many windows when you're doing things in fantasy grounds. There we go. Got it back. All right. You can see approaching from ahead. Some of them, if you're Aegis, are splashing through the water. They don't care that about the bricks disturbing the koi beneath. Of course, for Shaylun, they're just running across the bridge.
Ooh, Agent of Destruction.
Agents of Destruction. It looks like Shaylun is going to be first.
All right. So these agents, these are on the map. Hold on, I need to zoom out.
Oh, there are many of them.
There are.
Okay. So what do these look like from a distance? Do they look armored? Do they look more like casters and acolytes and stuff, or?
They are definitely. They look like they've got some sort of light armor on, and that they are wielding small blades, but not quite daggers.
And I know, like, instinctually here that this is a fight to the death. This isn't like a negotiation.
Yes, they are coming to kill everybody.
Okay. All right. So no holds barred then. So I'm gonna go ahead and yeah. I'm gonna go ahead and start with level 2 sparkle darts on yeah, on the first one.
Okie doke. So that is you. That is them. Right at 120 feet. So that is.
It looks like my damage just went back to. Oh, it's just the 1d4. So I roll it at 4 times.
You roll
at
it
the
for
second
you roll it for each missile. All right, so those 3 missiles go flying out and slam into the first one. He kind of stumbles and then just kind of just picks himself up and just keeps rushing forward. It doesn't seem to have slowed him down much.
Good to know.
As Lox takes aim. And fires twice at the same one that was running in your direction. Um, and then the second one. Both of these hitting this first one that you were also that you would hit with your attack as well. There we go. This seems to give it somewhat more pause, but still does not stop it. Rosalia. Leah?
Yeah.
Yep. It's your turn.
Can I throw up my shield?
You can. So let's see here. Yes, you absolutely can. Casting Armor of Agathis at this level is going to give you... yep, so if they hit you, then they will take some damage. Oops, there you go. Okay. So yeah, so if someone hits you, then they'll take damage from the shield itself. And are you just waiting then for them to get closer?
Yeah, I want them to strike first before I do anything.
Okay. Aegis.
I will step in front of Lox. Actually, down into the water too, being a little gentle.
Okay. The koi scatter as you step into the pool.
I'll go a little bit forward. What was that? It's like, how much was that? Like 15 so far?
10. Yeah, 10, just 10.
15. So yeah, no, I'm fine right there. Everybody's already blessed. I'll just take the dodge action for now.
Okay.
Wait for them to come.
Panabon.
All right. Anabon has at this point learned how to do split the veil in combat pretty well. So Panabon is going to do that. Panabon was going to do a nature check, but since Aegis just jumped onto the water and they're not dissolving into nothing, it's probably fine. How much movement is there? Where are the little squares? There are no little grid squares. Okay. We're going to move forward because it's time to do some stabbing.
Okay. So you're moving forward with both the veil and yourself.
Yes, we're both moving forward. I don't know how far I get to move, but
30 feet is your normal movement. And then if you want to keep moving, I believe you can, because I believe split the veil is a bonus action for you. Let me see. No, it's an action. So yeah. All right. So you can move 30 feet.
okay. So I'm gonna move 30 feet, and there are 2 Panabons.
All right. 2 Panabons as you move ahead 30 feet.
I don't know if anybody else saw that in real time, but like the shadows moved with my character, which was really cool.
Yes. When Shayloon moves, they'll see it on the thing.
It's amazing.
It's all about me, guys.
Yes, it's all about Shayloon. All right. Perunia also moves up, kind of even with Panabon, just in case, and then they all get to move. So Let me see here. And they're all just rushing, so... And as they get closer, they have this almost feral look about them. And both Shaylun and Aegis, you realize that you recognize them somewhat. In the back of your mind, there's something about them that you recognize, but not quite sure what that is yet. Shaylun.
All right, back to me. All right, I'm going to this time. First one's within 90 feet.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Who'd
Let's
you
do
guys bless on?
Everybody, but myself and Shay.
Okay.
I will do a Chromatic Orb. We're gonna try fire. And so I'm gonna make my attack. You already have me hooked up. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and I'm gonna roll my damage. Okay, feeling good about that.
As the ball of fire races forward from your hand and slams into that first agent.
I mean, people seem to not like when I light them on fire, so I'm just gonna like roll with that trend.
I mean, to be fair, lighting someone on fire is quite the act. I'm just saying.
Yes.
And just to make sure, I'm also going to move backwards a little bit, just to...
Sure. All right. As you step back, Lachlan takes aim once more and fires again at this lead fellow. As the sort of almost Raven-esque round that just blasts out of his pistol hits this lead. Oops, I didn't put it on a person. Okay, there we go. Yeah, hits the one in front. It stumbles, and then he just pulls the trigger again. And it just flops into the water face first, perishing under the onslaught of both Shaylun and Lachlan.
One down.
Rosalia.
So this is a dream, and we can kind of just do whatever we want.
Right, yeah. If things happen to you.
So are we still near the koi pond?
Are you near the what?
Are we still near the koi pond?
Yes.
So in the dream, Rosalia wants to pick the koi out of the water and throw them at the beaks.
Sure.
So that's what I start doing.
So, yeah, she reaches in and grabs a wriggling koi. For Shaylun, you see it looks like Rosalia's picked up a rock, but for Aegis, it's definitely a koi.
She is not of this world.
So my question is it like you're gonna toss it in the air and like smack like a baseball, or is it just like an overhand, like you're just gonna throw it like a
You got to get a good spiral on it.
Okay, spiral on the Kool-Aid.
Grip by the gills, you know? In a little grip.
In the dream, I'm solely throwing it because I just want to hear this, like when it hits their face. That's the only reason I'm throwing it. So I don't really have. I'm just grabbing it by the tail and just.
All right, so you just whip it forward, and we're just going to go ahead and say that it smacks the one in the face easily enough, and he actually kind of stops and looks down, and then looks back at you, and just. And then continues charging forward. Aegis.
So in my dream, I imagine myself as a much older, more experienced me. So my demeanor is very calm. I'm not as intense as I may be in in the current day. I kind of just slowly walk forward next to Perunia and place my shield. Oh, there you go. Yay, it worked. Place my shield down in front of me. Your presence here is a affront to this sacred area. Leave now. Take your destruction with you. And I will, with a little bit of like a martial arts flourish, strike down on my shield, and I will cast that thing that I always cast. That my brain just
Toll the Dead.
Toll the Dead on the one right in front. Oh, I was dead. The closest.
Yeah, the one you can actually cast it on. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Oh, I can't tell if I.
You do. Yep. Nope. Okay. Yep. You're good. All right. So
Okay.
give us the saving throw, and then. Oh yeah, that hits him. Nice. He has failed.
Dream me is way better
Kippy.
at attacking than real life me.
Yes.
And then the initial damage.
Yeah.
There you go. I'm way better than the real me.
Yes. All right, Panabon.
Which one got the fish thrown in their face?
The one that just got told.
So number 4?
Yes.
Number 4 got the fish in the face?
Yeah.
I want to get close enough that I can throw a dagger at fish face.
Okay. Would you like to use the bonus action to send your veil next to him?
I would love to do that.
Okay. Your veil is within 5 feet. And so now if you get to within 20 feet where you can throw your dagger with advantage, not that you need the advantage for it, or not disadvantage rather, you can go ahead and make that attack roll.
Yeah, let's throw a dagger right in your face. Oh, do I get the advantage button?
No, you just don't get the disadvantage button.
Oh, okay, that's good. Does it matter which dagger I throw? I guess the brace. Do I have my bracer in my dream?
You do.
In this dream? Okay. Let me throw the bracelet. Did it go?
I did not see it go. No.
Come on. There
it goes.
I think.
That's a hit. So go ahead and add the sneak attack bonus and then the damage.
I sneakily attack you.
Oof. Roll an additional d6. Just roll a d6 because that is missing. There we go. So you did an additional 3 on top. So 15 total. Is the damage done?
J'accuse.
All right. Good job.
I love stabbing things. It's a party. That's why in the Discord thing we have a Panabon stabs icon. Actually, we have a little emoji for the stabbing.
This is true. All right. So Perunia is going to use her action to hold an attack as if one comes within range. And now it is their turn.
Is there a so I'm noticing on this picture, it looks like there's a bridge under the water. Is that what it is? Like a bridge underwater that kind of drops off?
That's my dream.
That's her. That's Shailene's dream.
Whoa. Inception.
Yes. Yes. For you, there's no
You-
bridge. For Shaylun, there's no koi.
Wait, so do you also know Kung Fu, just out of curiosity?
Who, me?
Yes, because the way you said that, I just wanted to say that in the.
That's
I know
that's
Kung
already
Fu
how
bit.
I do things. Everything that I do has like a martial arts flourish, but it's this is like the develop me who it doesn't look so awkward.
Wow.
Imagine fire bending, how they kind of attack is what I imagine myself.
Nice. Wait, what did my veil do? What happened? They
Nothing.
tried to
The
attack
one
the
guy
veil.
tried to attack the veil, and your veil dodged out of the way because that's what your veil do.
Very
This one runs in, and as soon as he gets within range of Perunia, she, of course, is going to use her attacks that she held.
My veil mocks the one that tried to attack. You smell like fish.
Oh, that was so almost a 20. All right, so she brings her blade across it twice, and then he looks at you, Aegis. You will not survive the night, High Priest.
We shall see.
Managing to just barely get that blade in behind your shield and just giving you a slight scratch on the arm.
Wait, Danny, would you say that was just a flesh wound?
That's not even a pun. That's just what
No,
it is.
it's not a pun. Yeah, but it's also reference, which is the important thing there.
Yes, Aegis is on a bridge and none shall pass.
Aegis is only on a bridge in my dream.
Yes, that's true. Oh, this guy gets a critical hit on Panabon's veil.
I don't care for that. I don't care for that one bit.
Yeah, so the veil, it vanishes under that onslaught because it's not real. It's an illusion.
No. Everyone's sad.
And so this one is going to try to hit Panabon. That is not rolling with advantage, just so you know. It's just still targeted on Panabon's veil. So that was a hit on Panabon, yes.
Ow. Excuse me, I'm the one that stabs here, not you.
Yes. All right.
I saw instant death. I was like, holy shit.
Yeah, no, that was Panabon's veil only has 1 hit point. So
Yeah, I thought it was Panabon. Well,
Panabon's veil is not
I think
made
that
for
this is enough.
durability.
We should maybe go back into the building.
Shaylun.
All right. So we took down that first one, right? That I had targeted.
Yeah, the first one is dead. So
I retargeted on a one that's further back because I don't want them to get over numbered. But they are handling the stuff on the front end, so I can pick at this guy. So I'm gonna cast my pretty sphere again.
okay.
Fire went well. I think we're gonna go for we're gonna stick with fire. I am going to use my inspiration from Oki KP.
All right.
There it is.
There
All
you
right.
go.
There we go.
Thank you,
inspired.
Oki. All right. Dids my damage, and yeah, I'm between 2 layers of my friends and them, so I'm good where I'm standing.
Okay, feeling good about that. Lox is still also just aiming at the same fellow, using his bonus action to move his hex over to that one. And then taking aim and firing. Ooh, there's the crit. Let's see if it's fixed this week. 16. No, it's not. So 16 plus 8 is 24. So another additional 8 damage. That makes me sad that that's broken. As he fires a second round. And with a bless, that is a hit again. Rosalia.
I've been waiting for someone to aim at me, but it hasn't happened yet, which is pretty ironic because whenever I don't throw my shield up, I get hit. So I want to put the shield down, but I have a feeling the minute I put it down, I'm going to get hit. So I'm going to ready my pack weapon.
Okay, so what weapon are you pulling?
I feel like I've thought of all the creative ones, so I'm just going to take I don't know.
Big old Tetsubo?
Bow and arrow.
Bow and arrow?
Yeah, that one. I'll take that one.
Okay, so Rosalia forms a large studded club. Are you going to stay where you're at, or are you going to go wade into the fray?
So I want to get up high. Like I want a vantage point up high where I can see it.
So there's certain various points along the bridge that you can kind of stand up on, or you could get up in one of the trees ahead and then try to drop down on somebody.
I think I'll get up high on the bridge, and my intent is just to hit them over the head with the club when they come by and knock them over.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you actually are able to run along the edge of the bridge, the rail, and then hop up onto a post. And there is this fellow down here who you can make an attack roll and bash him upside his head.
She is walking on water. This is amazing. Her walking on water.
Yeah, she has basically walked across the water and now is like standing on a reed. Elves, man.
Ooh.
Elves, like...
You're in Kill Bill.
Yes.
My dream is Kill Bill.
Yeah, so you hit that fellow across the face. Go ahead and do the damage. It's the 1d12 damage.
One?
That one works. I'll just add a little bit to it. There we go. All right, so yeah, you crack him across the face and he just kind of rolls back. Meanwhile, Aegis, the Rosalia's joined the fray now. It looks like Panabon's got somebody kind of near to them, and Perunia is. Yes.
Let's cast Aid. Give everybody some temporary hit points.
Everybody's got temporary hit points right now, because
it doesn't stack.
No, temporary hit points never stacks. You will always get. So if you're giving someone temporary hit points and it's higher than what they have, they'll get your temporary hit points and lose the ones they had before.
Okay. Let's not use Aid. I set all my spells for a social session tonight. So
Oop.
if anybody needs like the future to be told, I can do that for us. I will just.
It's a dream, Roland.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
I cast Apocalypse.
You could throw a fish at someone. You could just start throwing koi.
Yeah, if you want to choose another second or first level spell that I don't. I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fine. All right. So then, with that being said,
Cast Chromatic Orb.
no. I'm gonna do my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
So in floats a feather that looks like it's a cotton light. It floats down slowly onto the agent of destruction in front of me. It gently lands on their shoulder, and then a ethereal blade appears briefly, slashes it in the back of the neck, and then turns into a feather again and floats back into the air. Oh, it does hit.
It does hit.
I'm way better in dreams.
All right, go ahead and roll the damage.
Some damage.
By the way, my husband, who is a D&D textbook with arms, says aid is not not temporary hit points. It boosts your max HP. Therefore, it does stack.
Ah,
Oh,
Hindsight.
thanks, Thomas.
Panabon.
Panabon shrieks revenge and is going to stab Agent of Destruction 4 because they were very impolite and destroyed their veil. And I don't care for that kind of nonsense.
All right, so go ahead and roll to stab.
Revenge! No revenge.
No revenge.
I can only do split the veil like once.
As an action. So you did your action as your attack. So your split the veil is good for repositioning. You don't get your attack, but you can reposition by sending your veil in one direction and hoping they go after it. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's fine. That doesn't really work here, but yeah.
Okay, Petunia is going to maneuver herself. 1, 2, 3. And actually, you're here. That's there. Set this up right. Okay, so, and is now in your, close enough to you for assistance. So on your next turn, you'll get sneak attack.
Yay! Aid me in my revenge!
As she sweeps her greatsword twice across this this fellow and just...
Yeah, and probably rolls her eyes once at my mention of revenge.
Probably.
I probably said it like 4 times today at that point. So
Yes. All right. Agent 10 moves up and attempts to attack Petunia. Whoa. Oh, I see why. If that were Panabon's veil, so that is a miss on Petunia. And then the fellow attacking Aegis just clangs the scimitar against your shield. All right. Guess that's not going to work. All right, swinging up at Rosalia, this guy misses, and this fellow turns to face Petunia. I'm just going to roll 5 billion dice, I guess. I don't know.
Wait, is he hitting or casting a spell?
He was attacking.
Oh, okay.
But happily, by doing that, it then cleared all the targets. So it ultimately did what I wanted to do. Shayloon, you are up in the front.
Okay. Let's see here. Still feeling like There's Perunia, there's Panavon, there's Aegis. All right, so still play. I'm gonna go ahead and focus on this boyo.
Which
And
boyo is that?
that's 13. I already just tagged them.
Okay.
And then I think I'm gonna go ahead and do I want to play that game? I think that I want to see what I can do at a 3rd level spell slot with this.
Okay.
Because I was not satisfied with the light damage that I did before.
That's fair.
Understandable.
So I get
That's
2
the Shailene
extra.
I know.
I'm going to get 2 extra D8 to this.
All right, so
there's 3. Do you want me to just roll the D8 separately, or?
go ahead and roll roll them again and just see what happens. And then I'll reduce as necessary. I'll reduce the last one. So I'll reduce that 1. So you only did 10 on that one.
Okay. So total I did 24 damage? Yeah.
Looks right. Yep. And that definitely did take a lot of the fight out of him, it looks like. But he's still hell-bent on moving forward. They're very, very zealous in their actions.
And basically I summon what looks like a basketball, like a glowing, fiery basketball in my hands, and just shoot it over there. Like 75 feet is a lot. But I just like shoot it up in the air, and it kind of lands and smacks him and just like burns, like little embers are drifting off the ball as it makes impact.
Nice. As that ball goes flying forward, Alox takes aim, draws a bead, and fires at this same fella he's been shooting at. And he gets hit in the chest and just goes flying backwards. Definitely done. And then there we go. Pulls the trigger again. And just you feel this whoosh over your shoulder, Aegis, as the guy in front of you just gets shot right in the face, dropping to the ground as well. Rosalia. That fellow is still down there. He swung at you with the blade. You were able to dance back out of the way. What would you like to do?
Can I blind him, or do I have to keep the powers that I have? Because this is still kind of me in the dream.
You can attempt to do a blind. Go into your character sheet and go to string of barbs and just use the save there that it says that you have. So let me. Oh, there you go.
Okay, I did it twice.
All right, so he did save. He just kind of like shakes his eyes out and then looks back up at you with still that same level of clarity. Aegis.
I don't know. This might just be for flavor. So, take a step forward next to Perunia.
Okay.
As I'm walking forward, this is a sacred place. You should reconsider your attack here. And my voice, in their mind, seems a little slow and a little very bassy. And I attempt to cast Calm Emotions on everybody in front of me just to give them to lose their will to fight.
Okay.
Is everybody alive that's in front of me? Oh, that guy's not alive.
The one right in front of you is not alive, but the other two are.
Okay. So we will cast. One failed and one succeeded.
Okay.
13. Or not 13. 4.
4.
Yeah.
That's the one that failed or succeeded. Failed. Okay, that's the one that failed. Okay. Cool. As that happens, you see him kind of put his kind of lower his weapon. But as he does so,
Not done yet.
wow. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bonus action. I'll have the feather which is whirling over my head, caught in some unseen force. Will head towards 16 and make an attack.
Okay.
Since he doesn't seem like he wants to give up.
Right.
All my life.
Jesus.
Well done. That's a hit.
Future me is so badass.
He's like, yes, I can do this.
Just a dream.
You know, I mean, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So, okay. Yeah. So with that, he kind of takes that hit and swipes at the feather as it retreats away. And then what's next? I think it is Panabon. You are up.
Is it only my veil that can do psychic damage?
Yes, your veil does psychic damage because it's not real, and so people only believe it's real, and therefore it's psychic damage.
Okay, well, I'm going to stab, and then next turn I'll bring up my veil, because I'm going to do some psychic damage. But I get to stab with Perunia by my side, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to stab.
Make with the stabbing.
I'm going to make with the stabbing.
That is a successful stab. Go ahead and 1 second. Where'd it go? Before you add your sneak attack, let me. Okay, now go ahead and add your sneak attack to it.
Sneak attack. I stab at thee. From hell's heart, I stab at thee.
All right. And you just, so after the calm emotion spell, he kind of like let his guard down, and then Panabon just runs that dagger into his gut and pulls up, disemboweling the poor fellow.
And now you don't even get to hear about Nagatsu Sanato.
While that's all happening, my face is like this calm, like smile, even through that.
Okay. Perunia rushes forth and charges this fellow here. And attacks twice. Once again, just Dream, you guys is better at everything. Also, the fact that you're all fifth level now, that might also have something to do with it. Yeah, so she just slays that one. I think leaving only one left to attack. This one is going to attack Rosalia. Misses with his first attack and second attack. So, Rosalia, what do you want to do?
In the dream, I just want to I want to sing them to eternal sleep.
Okay. So you
Like a siren. Really eerie.
So you just like start singing this ethereal elven song. Go ahead and do the string of barbs again. Just we're just going to use that as the saving throw. Get set up. Yeah. And this, it like he looks up at you and then he drops the sword and then just kind of topples back onto the ground. And if for Aegis into the water, and for Shayloon just onto the bridge itself, just out. And it seems this wave is done. And then the ground starts to shake. And when you look ahead, you see something approaching. And it is massive.
More of you to stab.
Perhaps. And as he...
It's the gate from Labyrinth.
It's the gate from Labyrinth?
The little goblin in the head.
Dance, magic baby, dance!
And as he strides forth, just sweeping whatever in front of him out of the way, in your head, Aegis, you know who this is. You know that this is Brajal, who is the head of the Pantheon that Nipoe is a member of. And you know that he has come to claim her. For Shayloon, this is not Brajal, this is Mersayin. But the story is the same. He has come to claim Izamok for himself. The dream changes now. For Aegis, the temple actually is shuttered, and the defenders make a last stand and are able to stop Brajal from entering. However, in the case of Shayloon, that did not happen, and Mersayin is able to defeat all of the defenders and enter into the temple. As the sun rises over the Ashani Desert, you both wake simultaneously from your dreams.
Danny, do I know what Isamok is the god of, since there isn't a gnome god?
You possess the right hand of Isamok.
Oh.
I fall out of bed and I start writing it all down.
Same. I open my spell book and I immediately start taking a ton of notes, remembering every detail I can, and
You very faintly hear Panabon talking to Rosalia about potential rules for BS High Elf this edition. No, so if you get this wrong, it's going to go through like the third knuckle instead of the fourth, and I think that'll be worse, personally.
What?
I don't know that I necessarily like. I'm you know, I wake up definitely my heart racing and stuff like that, but I don't know if it's something I'm necessarily gonna share. Just because like Isamok like wasn't a good guy, so like being taken away isn't necessarily a bad thing. So if it even is a message, I don't know that it's an important one to me.
Right. And with that, we are going to end our session this week.
We're way over, huh?
Yes. Not too bad. And step away and have another week before our next session where we come back and finish this journey through the desert and bring everybody into the capital of Vaishan, Julaladi.
So many things to steal.
So many
Sorry.
things to steal. So thank you all for joining us. Those of you who did, really appreciate that as always. And come back next week and see what happens when they enter the next city. And thank you to the cast. Hopefully next week we'll have all 6, and see what happens in the next city. So thank you everybody for joining, and we'll see you next week like clockwork.
See ya.